Hey guys, I'm Jason Miller, and right now I'm going to teach you how you can get big and ripped exactly like Hugh Jackman. Now, if you're like me, you probably never thought that Hugh Jackman had that great a physique, and then all of a sudden you saw him in Wolverine and you were just shocked. I mean, I think everyone was. He came out so big, so ripped, and honestly, he looked fantastic. And it's been a long goal of mine to figure out exactly what he did so that I could get the same kind of body. And after doing a lot of research, I found out a couple of his secrets, and in today's video I want to show you exactly what he did and teach you those secrets so that you can get a body just like Hugh Jackman. Now if you look at this picture right here on the video, you'll see his arms are just huge. He's got his vasculinity is insane. His shoulders look brilliant, look magnificent. His chest is full. He's got nice traps. You can't see it in this because he's wearing a singlet, but he's got beautifully ripped abs, and quite honestly, he looks absolutely fantastic. Something that anybody, I'm sure, would want to look like. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to teach you exactly how Hugh Jackman got ripped and how you can do the same. Hugh Jackman wasn't naturally a big guy. He was actually quite small. He was always tall, but he was more lanky than big. So what he had to do, and what you'll have to do if you want to put on weight, is eat. And I mean eat like an absolute machine. You have to eat 6 meals a day, full meals, and this is how you're going to gain enough size so that you can look big and be strong. Now it's not just about eating anything in sight. You have to eat the right things, otherwise you're just going to end up being fat, right? And no one wants that. So the right things to eat are things like steak, things like chicken breast, things like tuna, and then you also want to eat things like brown rice, lentils, lots of green vegetables, and you also want to probably have a protein powder supplement because they're so easy to use. You can probably have about 2 or 3 protein shakes a day, and they're really easy if you're on the run or you're busy. It takes you about 2 minutes to have one. I would recommend probably Optimum Nutrition. They're what I use, and they're probably the best. Other foods that you can eat probably include taro, if you have that, turkey breast, egg whites, wholemeal bread, oatmeal. Okay, so these are all the kind of things that you want to build your entire diet around. These are the staple foods, right? So like I said, you want about 6 meals, and you want to have those type of foods all the time. And that is how you're going to put on a lot of size, a lot of mass, a lot of muscle mass, and that's how you're going to look a lot better. Now, there are certain formulas to work out in terms of how many calories you need to eat per day. But to be honest, I think the best advice I can give you is just to try it for yourself. Start off at about maybe 2,500 calories a month and see how that goes. And if your first month you only gain maybe like a pound of muscle, then you need to increase your calories. Okay, if you end up gaining 7 or 8 pounds, then chances are you've gained some fat, right? So you want to scale it down, maybe decrease your calories, right? So you kind of want to see, and feel your body and see where you're at, okay? So start off with about 2,500 calories, and then maybe increase that to 2,700, 3,000, 3,500 as the months go along, right? And again, you just want to see what works for you. But as long as you're eating the right foods, you're going to put on some really nice lean muscle mass. And that is exactly what Hugh Jackman did. In fact, he actually had a timer which he had on his watch, and it would go off every 2.5, 3 hours, and he knew that when that time went off, he had to start eating. Right? That's the kind of mentality you've got to have, and the kind of commitment that you have to have if you want to get nice and big and ripped. The next thing that Hugh Jackman did was weight training. Now I think that's pretty obvious to anyone watching this video. If you want to get big and ripped, you need to start lifting some weights, right? Join a gym and learn how to do the correct form and work on things like deadlifts, work on things like squats, bench press, pull-ups, barbell rows. Now if you don't know what that means, it's alright, there's a lot of information out there that will teach you exactly how to do all of those exercises. But those are the main exercises that you want to do to ensure that you gain some really nice solid muscle mass. Don't go in there and start doing bicep curls and that kind of stuff, because that's not going to get you an overall amazing physique. you need to do the big compound exercises, and that's going to result in huge hormone spikes, and it's going to work your entire body and give you that kind of look that Hugh Jackman had, right? So those are, again, squats, deadlifts, bench press, pull-ups, barbell rows, cable rows, those kind of exercises, okay? Another thing that Hugh did a lot was cardio. He actually did high intensity interval training, which is basically you go full out for a couple of minutes, and then you taper back, then you go full out again, then you taper back for another couple of minutes, and so on and so forth. And basically for him, it would shred him up, make him nice and fit, and lose those extra pounds that he did happen to gain a little bit of extra fat by eating too much, right? So Hugh was very big on high intensity interval training. Now you might like just to do normal training, normal cardio rather, which means just walk on a treadmill or jog on a treadmill for 20-30 minutes 3 times a week, right? That's going to help you lose that excess fat, and it's also, believe it or not, going to help you gain more muscle mass quicker, alright? So cardio is also very important. Now, is there a secret formula for what Hugh Jackman did? Well, not really. But what he did was he broke down his training into 2 phases. And for me, this has worked fantastic. I know a lot of guys in my gym have also done this, and it's a really cool piece of advice. So what Hugh did was this. For 6 weeks, he focused on building muscle mass. Okay? Now that means to do higher reps for more sets. Things like 3 sets of 12 reps of bench press, 3 sets of 12 reps for deadlifts, all that kind of stuff, right? And what that would do is it would build muscle mass. Okay? Now he did that for 6 weeks. Then, after the 6 weeks, he changed to a strength building program, right? Now, a strength building program for Hugh meant that he had to lift very, very heavy weight, as much weight as he could possibly lift. Now, obviously, he won't be able to do that for 3 sets of 12 reps. So he changed up his rep schemes, and he did things like 6 sets of 3 reps, right? So again, he tried to make sure his form was perfect, just like it was in his mass building phase, but he also wanted, the goal here was to lift as much weight as humanly possible. And that's what gave him some insane strength, right? And that's what gave him that really nice physique. So I would recommend that you implement something along those lines, working on mixing up your rep schemes every 5 to 6 weeks, and really that's going to keep your body guessing and keep your body not being able to get consistent with any type of rep scheme. Okay, does that make sense? Cool. Another thing that Hugh did, and I've already mentioned it, it was the high intensity interval training. Now what Hugh did was interesting. He would focus on every 6th week, he would focus on doing only 1 weight session per week, and the rest of the week he did high intensity interval training, right? So he did a whole week basically just of cardio. And for him, that was to make sure, again, that he stayed nice and lean, nice and ripped, and it was to make sure that if he had been eating a little bit too much and maybe gained a little bit of fat, it wasn't noticeable, right? So he did the cardio to cut it back off, cut the fat off, just in case he gained it. Okay, does that make sense? And that's one of the secrets that Hugh did. I think you should totally do that as well, because there's no point eating 4,000, 5,000 calories a day if you're then going to end up gaining, 50% fat, right? No one wants to do it. That isn't going to give you a pleasing physique. It isn't going to give you a Hugh Jackman physique, right? So the best advice that I'll give you is not only to watch your calories and figure out what works for you, but also do high intensity interval training after, say, every 6 weeks or every 5 weeks, and really focus on burning the fat that you may have accumulated. Okay? Now, if you're looking for a full workout program, you want a complete diet guide, you also want exercise demonstrations, you want printable workout charts, then I recommend you download a product called Visual Impact Muscle Building, and you can get that from visualimpactmuscle.com. You can download it there. It'll give you a complete program, like I say, and it's very much in the same lines as Hugh's program. It works on the strength, it works on muscle building, it works on always changing your rep schemes and eating the right foods. So if you're serious about your muscle building and you want a physique like Hugh Jackman's and you want, you know, the complete workout program organized for you, then I'd highly recommend you check out visualimpactmuscle.com. Okay, that's it from this video. I probably spoke way too fast, but it was just because I'm excited and I want to help people and I want to teach other people how they can get an amazing body just like Hugh's. Like I said at the start of the video, Hugh didn't start off big, right? He was just a normal guy who did these simple things again and again, and that's how he got an amazing physique. So if you're skinny right now, or whatever, and you're thinking, oh, you know, it'd be cool to get as big as Hugh Jackman, but I don't think I can, well then think again. All right, you can get an amazing body. All you have to do is follow a program, be committed, and follow through with it, and you can have an amazing physique. Right? So I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you want, you can, you know, rewatch the video, maybe pick up a couple of tips or whatever. And yeah, good luck with your training. Go hard, and I'll look forward to hearing your comments or your results in the future. Okay, thanks guys.